Welcome back, LEGO builders. Gigahertz Productions here, and today we're going to be taking a look at all of the LEGO Star Wars Summer 2020 LEGO sets. And from what LEGO has released so far, there appears to be 10 LEGO sets in this wave. So I guess let's start off with the one that we already know, which is the Razor Crest. This is set number 75292. And it's the Razor Crest from the Mandalorian. It's recommended for ages 10 and up. It has 1,023 pieces, and it's going to be selling for $130 in the United States. And from the looks of it, this looks like quite a good model, and I will probably be picking it up myself to do a comparison because, sneak peek alert for my mock in the future that I'm building a mock of the Mandalorian town on Navarro. And I am actually using a Razor Crest mock, so I want to see how the LEGO version and the mock version compare. And this looks like a well-rounded set with a pretty good price, and obviously you're getting Baby Yoda, the Mandalorian, Grief Karga, IG-11, and the Scout Trooper, which is a pretty good minifigure selection, but it's too bad that they didn't have Quill in there as well. And I think the big seller on this one is going to be that Baby Yoda minifig there. So it has a pretty good interior and a pretty good set, I would say, from LEGO's part. A thing I forgot to mention before is that the Razor Crest also comes with an escape pod and the top, and it also comes with this cool carbonite print that can fit inside the Razor Crest. So that's also cool. Next, we have a set that kind of surprised me at first. It's the 75291 Death Star Final Duel, and it looks like a remake from the previous Death Star Duel. And it looks like quite a good set, although I probably won't be getting it because I do not care as much for the battle scenes and stuff. I like the Star Wars ships better, but this will be selling for $100 in the US and is recommended for ages 9 and up, has 775 pieces, and looks like a very, very good set. What's very cool is that they have just updated the model and made it better. But I think the best part about the set is that Darth Vader has printing along his arm. So that is going to be a very good upgrade to Darth Vader. Plus also you get Palpatine, the 2 guards, and of course Luke, because then it wouldn't be a duel. So I'd say this is a pretty good set, and probably the people who are going to be buying it are the ones who do not have the previous version, or they have lots of nostalgia for the older one. Plus also, it's cheaper to get this one than the older one. Yeah, a pretty good set overall. Next, we have set number 75288, which is this amazing looking AT-AT walker from episode 5, and it sells for $160 in the US, so that it's a pretty expensive model, and it's recommended for ages 10 and up. And it's gonna come with Luke Skywalker, General Veers, 2 AT-AT drivers, and 2 of those snow troopers. So it's a pretty good minifigure selection there, especially with General Veers. And this model definitely looks like it's an upgrade over the older models. And I don't actually have a picture of the interior, but I have seen pictures of it before, and it looks like they have a very nice big interior with these nice bluish color seats, like the sand blue color, and that would be quite nice over previous models who did not have as much interior space, although it does seem a little bit on the expensive side for this set. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention earlier that this set has 1,267 pieces. Next off, we probably have one of the most disappointing sets from LEGO this wave. We have General Grievous' Starfighter, set number 75286, recommended for ages 9 and up, and it has 487 pieces for $80 US. That is pretty bad for the price, and it does look like a very good set, but I feel like LEGO is kind of ripping us off, and it's a little bit expensive, and it would be great if the set was $60. It would be basically perfect. The only thing is that many people were speculating that the, now we know it's an airborne trooper, was going to be a Phase 2 Commander Cody, and it does not appear so, so that kind of lets a lot of people down and doesn't quite make the set worth that $80. And another thing that I think LEGO really ripped us off on is that the printing on ObiWan Kenobi is the same printing from the Duel on Mustafar. And this happens before the Duel on Mustafar, and are just lowballing us. So they are just being plain lazy. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a very well-rounded, very nice-looking set. And if it was for $60 and had the 2 minifigures updated, or a different minifigure like the Phase 2 Commander Cody, I think the set would have been amazing. Oh yeah, and I guess a little cool feature is that the Starfighter does have a little compartment in the side to put General Grievous's lightsabers, and I think before they had them like hanging out of the bottom and that didn't look as good. So I guess that's quite nice, and obviously there's going to be some play features on, like the spring-loaded shooter. So a pretty good set, but not the best that LEGO could have done. However, moving on to set number 75284, the Knights of Ren transport ship, or the Night Buzzard. It has 595 pieces, selling for $70 in the US, recommended for ages 9 and up. And this looks like quite a nice set, where you get those last 2 Knights of Ren and Rey, but we already have Rey, so that doesn't really matter. And it looks like quite a beautiful model that LEGO has put together, only in a $70 set. So the set looks pretty good with its nice sleek design, and obviously it's got those spring-loaded shooters in there. But the only thing I think it's lacking on is that, although there's probably not enough space anyway, is that there is just a tiny little area for interior for the Knights of Ren to sit in. But I mean, what can you do with a $70 set? So, as in general, I think the set is pretty good. Next, we have set number 75283, the Armored Assault Tank, or AAT, from the recent episodes of the Clone Wars. And this is recommended for ages 7 and up, and has 286 pieces and sells for $40 in the US. And I think a big part of this set that's going to make it sell a lot is that Ahsoka's trooper, or the 332nd trooper, along with Ahsoka there in her Clone Wars outfit. And the tank does look good, but it's not as good as the one way back in 2009, I believe it was, but that one was like an absolutely perfect model. And this one is a little bit off proportions. When you look at the cannon, it's much longer than it actually is when you look at pictures from like the actual show, like in universe. And I think a nice part about this set is that it does have that hatch in the front to open up, so you can put the other droid in there. And then obviously the set comes with those 2 droids, although I don't really understand why they are Kashyyyk droids. And one thing I noticed by looking at the box is that those 2 droids look exactly the same, but one says it's the AAT driver battle droid, and the other one's just a battle droid. But they look exactly the same, so I don't know what's going on there, but yeah. But overall, probably a pretty good set. Maybe a little on the expensive side, but a pretty good AAT. Next, we have Anakin's Jedi Interceptor, set number 75281. It's recommended for ages 7 and up. It sells for $30 in the US and has 248 pieces. And this one looks almost the exact same as the older Anakin Interceptor, and if you already have that older one, there's not really much that is improved on this one, but there is a couple things, because otherwise they wouldn't make a new one. So like probably the design is better and it's a little more structurally stable and all that. But if you have the older one, you're probably better off just to keep that one. And probably the worst part about this set is that the Anakin minifigure, the same as the Obi-Wan before in General Grievous' Starfighter, has the print of the Battle of Mustafar. And that doesn't make any sense either, because this is before the Battle of Mustafar, and his clothes aren't all tattered up yet. So that doesn't really make any sense, and LEGO is just ripping us off again and being just lazy. But otherwise, I'm sure it's a fairly good design, probably a little bit on the expensive side, but that seems to be with every LEGO Star Wars set now, is that they're a little bit on the expensive side, but otherwise, probably an okay set. Unless you have the older version, then it's basically just almost an exact copy, but yeah. Next, we have set number 75280, which is the 501st Legion Clone Troopers. And this set was wanted for heavily by a YouTuber named M&R Productions. I'll put a link in the description to his channel. And he was going hard for this set, and finally LEGO made it, which is quite amazing. And shows that if you gain enough support for a certain LEGO set, then it could potentially be made. So this set has 285 pieces and sells for $30 in the US and has 6 minifigures, which is pretty good. And this was supposed to be a battle pack, but it's more like a mega battle pack or something. And obviously it's twice as expensive as a battle pack, but it basically has twice as much stuff, except for minifigures. It should have one more minifigure to be twice as much, but I think that's fine. So I definitely think this is a pretty good one of those battle pack sets where you can get as many of these to build up a 501st army. And plus you get those droids in there. But the AT-RT design, like usual, is a little bit oversized, but that's fine. That's basically, you have to work within the constraints of LEGO. And both the AT-RT and the Bark Speeder, I think it is, both look very good. And it looks like a very nice set overall. But I think probably the best part about this set are going to be those 501st Clone Troopers. Oh yeah, and there is one trooper that has like the jetpack and the blue on his arms, so that's kind of a nice addition to the set. Next, we have another one that kind of surprised me a little bit. We have the Resistance ITS Transport, or set number 75293. It has 932 pieces, recommended for ages 9 and up. And if any of you have been to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland or Disney World, I believe, there's a ride in Star Wars Land that is Rise of the Resistance, I think, and you go into this ship to get into the ride. So that's a cool little thing. As you can see, it has the little plaque at the bottom that says Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So that's a little fun part of the set, and it comes with 4 minifigures, 2 of them being droids and the other 2 being Lieutenant Beck V. Moradi, and the 2 droids, which is just like a black and red astromech droid, and the Gonk power droid in like sand green. And this set basically looks like a cross between like almost like a U-Wing with like the engines at the back, and also kind of like the Tantive 4 with like the front part, and it's a kind of cool like transport ship. So that's an interesting set that LEGO made. Oh yeah, and it sells for $100 in the US, so that's a pretty fair price, I think. Next, we have the Advent Calendar for 2020, set number 75279. It has 311 pieces and looks like a pretty nice Advent calendar with like Poe and Darth Vader, both with their fancy Christmas sweaters. Then you got the Dio with his Santa hat and that funky looking Gonk droid that looks like a snowman. And then for builds, you have the X-Wing and then one of those TIE fighters from episode 9. And when we take a look at the miniature A-Wing here, it's much better than the May the 4th A-Wing that they released on May the 4th. And I am wondering why couldn't they have this design on that one before, because that A-Wing did not look that good. And this one looks amazing for being this small. I think it is a pretty good Advent calendar. Oh yeah, and it has other builds like the Millennium Falcon and Droid Command Center. I'm not quite sure what it's called. So you got lots of things in this set and a couple of little cool exclusive things as well. Another set that we have known for a while is the Mandalorian and Child, or Baby Yoda, Brickhead. So that is set number 75317. has 295 pieces and ages 10 plus. LEGO has done an amazing job with this set, with Baby Yoda in that little carriage thing, him looking just so cute as usual. Then you have Mandalorian with his armor, looking very nice as well. Although it would be nice for him to have all the Beskar armor, like all in silver, but that's fine with his kind of brownish armor instead. But I think this set is gonna be a real hot seller, and it's gonna be flying off the shelves like crazy. So those are all the LEGO Star Wars sets that are coming out this year. LEGO could release another one, but it's highly unlikely. And there are a couple of rumors of other potential sets, like an Imperial shuttle, or I think it's a Darth Vader or Darth Maul mosaic, and other things like that, but it's unlikely that they will release this year. They'll probably be next year in 2021. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you like and subscribe. But with that said, Gigahertz Productions out.